25 October will not arrive with a whisper. It will not come to comfort you. It will come to destroy what you thought was peace, but was only the silence of a cage. Comfort is sweet in the beginning, but poisonous in the end. It keeps you in one place, repeating the same day again and again until years pass and nothing has changed. Comfort tells you that you are safe, but it hides the truth that you have stopped growing. 25 October is the kind of day that tears down this illusion. It shows you that peace without progress is not peace, it is slow decay. You may believe you are in control of your life, but comfort controls you more than you know. It decides when you wake, how you think, what you fear. It teaches you to avoid pain, to avoid challenge, to avoid truth. And when life takes that comfort away without warning, you panic because you have forgotten who you were before it. 25 of October is the reminder that life is not meant to be lived inside walls you built yourself. It comes to break those walls. It comes to make you uncomfortable enough to see clearly again. The destruction of comfort is not cruelty, it is an invitation. You can only understand this when you have faced it directly. When something or someone disturbs your stillness, you will feel anger, confusion, maybe even loss. But underneath that noise is an opportunity, a chance to wake up. Life uses discomfort to bring awareness back to you. It shakes you because you have been sleeping too long. 25 October represents that shake, that sudden storm that forces you to open your eyes and move. Growth never begins in comfort. Growth begins the moment you say, I cannot stay here any longer. The comfort zone is warm, but it is not alive. There is no learning there, no transformation. You cannot become who you are meant to be if you never leave what is easy. 25 October destroys comfort because it wants to give you movement again. It wants to make you feel alive, even if it hurts. Pain is not the enemy. The real enemy is the slow death that comes from never challenging yourself. When you lose your comfort, do not run to find it again. Sit with the unease. Feel the tremble inside you. This is life speaking directly. It's showing you that everything you were depending on can disappear in a moment. 25 of October is that moment. A teacher disguised as a breakdown, a lesson wrapped in fear. When everything feels uncertain, that is when you are closest to truth. Because in that space, you no longer have the lies of comfort to protect you. The reason life breaks your comfort without warning is because you would never leave it willingly. You would stay in it forever if nothing forced you out. So life intervenes. It takes what you cling to, your routines, your habits, your false sense of safety, and it removes them. You think something terrible has happened, but it is actually grace in disguise. 25 of October reminds you that nothing stable is truly alive. The tree that does not bend will break. The person that does not change will fade. You will feel fear when your comfort disappears, but fear is proof that you are stepping into something real. Fear only exists at the edge of expansion. 25 of October carries that energy. It does not warn. It does not wait. It strikes so you can awaken. It breaks so you can rebuild. It shows that the only real peace comes from strength, and the only real strength comes from letting go of everything false. Most people run from this day. They want the old comfort back. They beg life to be soft again. But those who understand, they stand still in the storm. They do not ask for calm. They learn to find calm within. That is the lesson. You do not need comfort to be peaceful. You need awareness. 25 October strips you of everything external so you can see what is left inside. It destroys what you thought was necessary so you can meet what is real. When this day comes, you will either resist or rise. If you resist, you return to sleep. If you rise, you awaken to a different kind of life, one that is not easy but honest. The moment you stop depending on comfort, you start depending on your inner strength. That is freedom. That is where self-mastery begins. 25 October will destroy your comfort zone without warning because you have outgrown it. It will not ask for your permission. It will not care for your excuses. It will arrive, tear through your limits, and demand that you evolve. And if you listen, if you embrace that destruction, you will find that nothing valuable was lost. Only the illusion of safety was taken. What remains after comfort is gone is you, awake, aware, and unafraid. 25 of October is not going to knock before entering your life. It will not announce that something is about to change. It will simply arrive. And when it does, it will test everything you have built, your patience, your awareness, your strength, your understanding of who you are. The test does not come with a warning. because if it did, it would not be a test. Life measures your readiness in silence. It waits for the moment you least expect, and that's when it asks, are you truly prepared or are you only pretending to be? The unseen test is not about what happens to you, but about how you respond. 25th of October represents that moment when comfort is broken without notice. One day everything feels stable and the next nothing is as it was. You can call it chaos, but it is not chaos. It is life's way of showing you what still controls you. When the ground shakes, you see clearly where your fears live. You see where you have built your peace on things that were never meant to last. People often wait for signs before they change. They wait for the perfect time, the right motivation, the right signal. But 25th of October does not wait. It teaches that life doesn't warn before it demands your evolution. The true test is sudden because that's when your habits cannot protect you. That's when you act from your core. You cannot fake awareness in the middle of the storm. You cannot fake strength when everything feels uncertain. The truth of your preparation is revealed only when you are taken by surprise. Discomfort always comes uninvited. You can spend years preparing for the future, and still life will find a way to challenge you differently. That is why 25th of October exists, to remind you that readiness is not about control, it's about adaptability. When the unexpected happens, you either panic or you adjust. And in that adjustment, you meet your real self. You learn more in one moment of pressure than in years of comfort. When the day strikes without warning, your mind wants to resist. It wants to run back to what was familiar. But that's the exact point of the test. 25 October forces you to stand where you are and deal with the unknown. It strips away your excuses. You cannot prepare after it has begun. You can only act. And that action reveals everything. Growth is never a smooth path. It's full of sharp turns and sudden drops. 25 October embodies this truth. It doesn't come to punish you. It comes to show you how much you've grown and how much further you can go. The test appears when you have forgotten that you still need to evolve. You think you are stable, and life shows you that stability is not the goal. Awareness is. The moment you think you have control, you lose it. The moment you surrender to awareness, you regain your power. The unseen test always arrives quietly. It doesn't wait for you to be ready, because readiness is not something you prepare for. It's something you live with. Every breath, every thought, every decision you make trains you for that moment. 25th of October brings that realization that every small discipline, every act of patience, every practice of awareness has been preparing you for the day when everything shifts. Those who live consciously pass through the storm without breaking, not because they are lucky, but because they are awake. When life tests you suddenly, most people react. They blame the timing, the situation, the world. But 25th October teaches that there is no bad timing. There is only resistance or awareness. The unseen test does not appear to destroy you. It appears to expose what is weak within you. It points to where you still hold fear. It shows you what needs to be strengthened, purified, and released. It's easy to stay calm when life is kind, but when 25th of October comes and the calm disappears, that's when your real training begins. That's when you see whether your peace was real or only borrowed from circumstances. The unseen test strips away the external peace to see if there is an internal one. It removes what you lean on so you can stand by yourself. It removes what you depend on so you can find your true stability. Every person will face their 25th October. A moment when life suddenly demands more than you think you can give. And in that moment, you will either remember your strength or you will meet it for the first time. The pain of losing comfort is the doorway to discovering resilience. The confusion of the unknown is the space where true awareness grows. When everything changes without warning, that is not the end of peace. It is the beginning of depth. 25th October reminds you that life does not test you to break you. It tests you to reveal you. It is a mirror showing you how far you've come and how far you are still afraid to go. The unseen test does not arrive to destroy, it arrives to refine. And when the test is over, you realize it wasn't meant to hurt you. It was meant to awaken you. So when 25th of October comes and everything feels uncertain, don't run. Don't fight the storm. Stand inside it with awareness. Let the wind tear away what was false. Let the noise remove what was weak. What remains after the test is what is real. a self that no longer depends on warnings to grow, no longer fears the sudden changes, and no longer hides inside comfort. That is the purpose of 25 October. It comes without warning because awakening never waits for permission. 25 October is not a gentle day. It is not here to comfort you. It comes to show you the truth that every resistance you feel is a doorway. Every time you struggle, every time you feel stuck, life is pointing you toward transformation. But most people run from this. They see resistance as an enemy. They avoid the discomfort, not realizing that the very thing they avoid is the path they need to walk. 25 October tears down that illusion. It does not give you time to think. It forces you to face what you fear and walk through it. Resistance will always appear before growth. It is life's natural law. The moment you decide to change, something inside you will try to stop it. The mind will whisper that you are not ready. The body will create excuses. The heart will search for safety. This is resistance, and 25 October exists to make you confront it. Because when resistance appears, it means you are close to breaking through. The discomfort is not punishment. It is the birth of a new self. There is a moment when you stand at the edge of who you have been and who you can become. That edge feels like pain, fear, and uncertainty. It feels like everything is against you. But this is the exact doorway. 25 October pushes you toward it. It will not allow you to turn back to your comfort zone. It destroys the bridge behind you so you can only move forward. When you step through that door, you shed the weight of your old patterns. You begin to live, not survive. The mistake people make is waiting for resistance to disappear before acting. It never disappears. It moves with you, changes shape, tests your will. You overcome it not by waiting, but by stepping through it. 25 October carries that message in its energy. It doesn't ask you to be fearless. It asks you to move despite fear. The only way to dissolve resistance is through action. Not talking, not wishing, but walking straight into the fire. Growth and resistance are twins. You cannot have one without the other. If you run from resistance, you also run from growth. 25 of October comes to remind you that comfort is not your friend. And challenge is not your enemy. Life builds your strength through friction. Just like muscles grow by tearing, the spirit grows by facing struggle. Every challenge is shaping you, refining you, teaching you to hold your ground in the storm. When resistance comes, it will feel heavy. It will feel like the world is testing your limits. That is because it is. But not to break you, to build capacity. 25 October is that moment of weight, the pressure that demands you become more. The energy of that day will not let you stay small. It will push you to confront the parts of yourself that you have ignored. The habits, the fears, the laziness, the self-doubt, all will rise to the surface. You will see them clearly. That is your invitation to walk through the door. When you avoid resistance, you delay your evolution. When you face it, you accelerate it. Every person who transforms has walked through resistance without knowing what was on the other side. They did not wait for certainty. They simply trusted that movement was better than stagnation. 25 of October represents that trust. The faith in forward motion even when everything feels uncertain. It destroys the illusion that safety will bring peace. True peace comes when you stop hiding from the storm. The door of resistance does not open with force. It opens with surrender. You stop fighting the discomfort. You stop asking why it's there. You accept it as part of your path. The moment you stop resisting resistance, it loses its power. 25 of October teaches this silence, the calm inside chaos, the awareness inside struggle. You don't overcome life by overpowering it. You overcome it by flowing with it. You will notice that every major change in your life began with some kind of resistance. The moments that shaped you most were the ones that felt impossible at first. 25 of October carries that same energy. It is the energy of transformation hidden inside tension. When you feel resistance, instead of retreating, breathe. Take one step, then another. Each step weakens the old and strengthens the new. Eventually, what once felt unbearable becomes your strength. This day destroys illusions gently but firmly. It shows you that resistance is not a wall, it is a door. And when you finally walk through it, everything behind you loses its hold. You stop fearing struggle because you realize that struggle was never meant to hold you back. It was meant to polish you. 25 of October brings this realization with intensity. It will shake you, but only to wake you. It will challenge you, but only to prepare you. When you walk through resistance, you are no longer the same person. You see the world differently. You act differently. You think differently. That is because you have met yourself on a deeper level. You have learned that power is not in avoiding difficulty, but in facing it. 25 October breaks the illusion of limits. It shows that growth begins where comfort ends. Every time resistance appears, remember this day. Remember that 25 October does not come to destroy you. It comes to open you. It brings lessons disguised as problems, progress disguised as pain, and clarity disguised as confusion. Walk through the resistance. Do not stop at the door, because beyond it lies the version of you that you were always meant to become. And 25 October teaches one of the hardest lessons. You cannot control life. You can only stay aware within it. Control is an illusion that keeps you anxious, trapped, and exhausted. It makes you believe that if you can manage every detail, everything will go your way. But life doesn't work through control. It works through awareness. The moment you think you have mastered everything, something changes. The ground shifts, the pattern breaks, and suddenly all your plans collapse. That is 25 October, the moment when control disappears and awareness must take its place. When everything seems to fall apart, it is not life being unfair. It is life reminding you that you are not here to control everything. You are here to see clearly, to act consciously, and to respond with balance. Control is rooted in fear. Awareness is rooted in strength. On 25 of October, life removes what you can control so you can discover the power of awareness. You stop reacting to everything and start observing. You stop clinging and start flowing. That is how real transformation begins. Control always tries to fix the outside world. It wants to make people behave, make circumstances bend, make outcomes predictable. But awareness doesn't chase stability. It looks inward. It reminds you that peace is not in what happens, but in how you meet what happens. 25 October comes to destroy the illusion that peace can be found through control. It strips away your external comfort so you are forced to face your internal chaos. It demands that you wake up and learn to see rather than force. The need to control everything is a form of fear disguised as order. You think that if you can just manage everything perfectly, nothing will go wrong. But control keeps you tense. It keeps your body stiff, your mind restless, your heart heavy. Awareness softens you. It gives you space to breathe, to adapt, to trust. On the 25th of October, when the unexpected happens, when your plans crumble, awareness becomes your only ally. It's the voice inside that says, be still, observe. This moment is also your teacher.
Yeah.
There is a deep truth that 25th of October reveals. The more you try to control, the less you can see. When you are desperate to shape reality, you become blind to what it's trying to teach you. Awareness, on the other hand, allows you to move with life. It doesn't mean you give up effort. It means your effort becomes intelligent. You stop fighting against the current and begin to navigate it. You start understanding that life is not a problem to be solved, but an experience to be observed and mastered. When everything breaks unexpectedly, the untrained mind panics. It tries to rebuild the old structure. But the aware mind watches. It doesn't collapse with the event. It expands within it. 25 October symbolizes that expansion. It's the shift from control to awareness. You begin to understand that the goal is not to hold the storm still, but to remain still inside the storm. The world will move, people will change, plans will fail, but your awareness, that inner clarity, remains. This is not passivity, it is mastery. Awareness is active. It listens, it adapts, it responds. It allows you to make wise choices without being consumed by emotion. 25th of October will take something from you, something you thought you needed, so that you can see this truth. When you no longer depend on control for stability, you become unshakable. You can lose and still stand. You can be tested and still remain calm. That is real strength. Most people confuse control with safety, but it is actually the opposite. The tighter you hold, the more fragile you become. Life cannot flow through clenched fists. 25 October opens your hand. It shows you that awareness is not about changing life, but about meeting it with clarity. When you are aware, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start seeing, this is what is happening. Now what can I learn from it? The shift is small, but it changes everything. Awareness makes you present. It frees you from the constant noise of the mind, the overthinking, the planning, the fear of what might happen. When you live in awareness, you stop living in reaction. You start living in response. 25 October breaks your control so you can learn this balance. It does not come to destroy your peace. It comes to refine it. It shows you that real peace is independent of circumstance. In awareness, you start to trust life again. You begin to understand that every loss, every delay, every unexpected change carries meaning. You stop labeling things as good or bad. You see that each event has its purpose, even if it hurts. 25 October brings this awareness through experience. It takes what you cling to and replaces it with understanding. It shows that awareness is not built by reading or listening. It is built by living through moments you cannot control. When control falls apart, awareness rises. It is the light that appears after the storm. It doesn't need perfection. It doesn't need certainty. It only needs your presence. 25 of October reminds you that awareness is the real foundation of strength. Control builds walls, awareness opens doors. Control seeks guarantees, awareness finds freedom. So when this day comes and life shifts without your permission, don't fight it. Don't chase what is leaving. Stand still, breathe, and observe. Let awareness guide your steps. Let control dissolve. What remains after everything changes is not emptiness. It is 25 October doesn't come to punish you. It comes to return you to that truth. It comes to remind you that peace is not in holding on. It is in letting go. 25 October is the day when endings become beginnings. It is the day when the old version of you starts to fade and a new one begins to rise. Growth never happens when everything is easy. It happens when the ground shakes beneath your feet and you are forced to find your balance again. This day comes without warning. It breaks your rhythm, destroys your comfort, and asks you to face yourself. And in that destruction, something new is born, a stronger, clearer, more conscious you. When comfort disappears, you see what you're really made of. You begin to realize that the person you were inside comfort could not survive outside of it. You depended on stability, on predictability, on things staying the same. But 25 October teaches you that life doesn't reward comfort. It rewards courage. The destruction of your comfort zone is not the end of peace. It is the beginning of awakening. Every shake, every crack, every loss is life telling you, evolve now. The new version of you is not created in calmness. It's created in fire. It's formed in those moments when you are tired but keep moving, when everything feels uncertain but you still choose awareness over fear. 25 October holds that energy, a silent demand for transformation. It will not wait for you to be ready. It will simply push you forward, forcing you to leave behind everything that no longer belongs to who you are becoming. Growth does not come gently. It demands something from you. It demands that you let go of the past version of yourself, the one that needed approval, one that doubted, the one that kept playing small. 25 October will test that. It will remove what you think you can't live without so that you discover what you truly can. You will feel the pain of change, but that pain is not your enemy. It is the sound of your transformation. When life destroys your comfort, it is not trying to hurt you. It is trying to awaken you. It is trying to make you realize that you have been asleep, living inside limits that you built yourself. 25 October comes to break those walls. It tears away everything unnecessary so that you can see your real potential. You don't grow by adding more to your life. You grow by releasing what no longer serves you. Growth is not about becoming more. It's about becoming true. There will be moments when you will feel lost, moments when everything familiar is gone. That's when the new self begins to form. The mind will want to go back to safety, but there is no going back. 25 October doesn't let you return to who you were. It burns that bridge so that you can only move forward. In that uncertainty, you will find your real strength. You will learn that you don't need perfect conditions to grow. You only need the courage to stay present when everything changes. Every destruction brings creation. Every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. 25 October carries that truth in its silence. It does not speak softly. It speaks through experience. It shows you that losing something doesn't mean losing yourself. When the old version of you dies, the space that remains is freedom. Freedom to act differently, think differently, and live differently. The old you served a purpose, but the new you is born to go beyond it. The process of becoming new is not comfortable. It requires honesty. It requires seeing your fears without running. It requires standing still when your emotions scream for escape. 25 October forces that confrontation. It brings you face to face with everything you've avoided. Your habits, your pain, your excuses. But it also gives you the power to rise above them. When you stop resisting the change, you start transforming through it. The new version of you does not emerge overnight. It grows through awareness, through discipline, through acceptance. Every moment you stay present in discomfort, you strengthen the foundation of who you are becoming. 25 of October symbolizes this transition, a shift from dependency to self-reliance, from fear to clarity, from control to flow. It's not a gentle awakening. It's a necessary one. When you begin to understand the message of 25 October, you stop fearing change. You start to welcome it. You realize that destruction and creation are part of the same cycle. Life breaks you only to rebuild you stronger. Every time something falls apart, something better is being prepared. But you can only see it if you stay aware. The storm may rage, but if you stand still inside it, you will see that it is carving you into something unshakable. The new you is not born in comfort. It is born in awareness, in resilience, in surrender. It's born when you no longer run from what life brings. It's born when you trust that every loss carries wisdom, every difficulty carries growth, and every ending carries light. 25 October reminds you that nothing real can be destroyed, only illusions fall. What remains after everything changes is the truth of who you are. So when 25 October comes, do not resist it. Do not cry over what's leaving. Stand tall in the fire. Let the old fall away. Let the new rise. Life is not punishing you. It is preparing you. It is shaping you into someone who no longer needs comfort to feel at peace. The destruction of your comfort zone is the creation of your power. And when the dust of 25 October settles, you will see it clearly. You were never losing anything. You were only being reborn.